watching. So good to be with you. It's Saturday, it's sunny, I'm in Somerset, and I wanted to talk to you today about the importance of identity, because we're in a very crowded place. Whatever you do, there's going to be a ton of people doing it as well, something a little bit similar. So the opportunity, the need for all of us is to be seen, to be heard, to be seen, to be different, frankly. And I shared last week the story of how 8 years ago I walked into a restaurant in London on Fulham Road, just around the corner from where I was living at the time. Amazing new restaurant, beautiful, amazing food, and it was completely empty, apart from the chef and his wife. And I thought, oh, this place is not going to survive for long, because that stretch of the Fulham Road is busy, but there's also a lot of other restaurants. You know, people are spoilt for choice, as they are with everything that you do, that we do. And I couldn't help think, if these people are open to getting some help, I probably could help them. And they were. Sometimes people are desperate enough to listen, right? So, essentially, within a week, we turned that business around. We closed it for a week to make some changes, and the following Friday evening, we reopened to a great big fanfare. It was like, opening at 6 o'clock. And you know what? We actually halved the price of the food, because it was such a special offer, special opening and all of that stuff. But you know what? Even with the food being half price, they still made more on one night than they had made in the previous month. And you know what's even more important? That was the turning point for the restaurant, because they were never quiet again. They probably quadrupled their takings in the following month from any previous month, and they stayed with that growth consistently. So it changed everything, and thankfully they were able to sell that restaurant 5 years later and do well enough to set their 2 kids up in their own homes in London and set themselves up in their new dream life in Sardinia and Antalya. So what was the number one thing? Why am I sharing this with you? Because the number one thing that changed the fortune of Sapori Sardi was identity. I said, listen, the problem is there's not enough here to make you stand out from every other restaurant here. And, it's a bit like that saying that Dan Kennedy, the sort of godfather of modern marketing. He says people look at you and they have one question in their mind: why you? Why you? Why you versus any other options? And the extent to which we can answer that question is the extent to which we'll be successful. So I said, listen, you've got so much going for you that you're not sharing. So we got clearer on the offer, because the offer was a little bit muddled. Like, were they a daytime cafe offering paninis, or were they more of an evening restaurant? And we looked at where the money was and all of that. So we got clear on that. But most importantly, we came up with reasons why this place was different. We created an identity. So the identity for Sapori Sardi was that this was your local neighborhood Italian that everybody wants around the corner, that everybody wants in their neighborhood, right? And we came out with the story behind Sapori Sardi. How Piero, the head chef, had learnt the art of baking bread when he was just 10 from his mother. He dug out photographs of him with his mother in Sardinia. We got those up on the wall. We got photographs up from his family home. So we brought the story to life. We brought the story of how this was a dream. This restaurant was a dream. Had been a dream of his all his life. And I had been head chef at these top restaurants and hotels in London, and it wasn't till after a heart attack that his wife said, we have to do it now. It's now or never. So I wrote up that story in a very concise way, and that went at the front of the menu. So anyone who was opening the menu anytime, the first thing they got was the story behind sapori sardi. People fell in love with the story. People came, and the funny thing was Piero became a sort of a celebrity. It was so funny. We used to watch new people coming into the restaurant, and they would be looking for the kitchen. They would be looking for Piero because they'd heard the story, and to them, was someone that they almost felt like they knew. So I'm sharing this with you because you have to do the same. You have to do the same. You have to do the same for two reasons. Number one, it's the thing that's going to help you stand out. And it's imperative in these times that you give people a very clear reason to choose you. And number two, maybe this is even more important. It's so important, I believe, that you see you, that you connect to you in this world. You connect to the real story of you and what gives you the credibility to do what you do. Because that's going to give you a deep confidence that truly nothing else will. So I believe in the power of this so much that I'm going to do a special masterclass all about it this coming Friday. I'm just thinking what date that is. I think it's the 10th. No, it's not the 10th because I'm flying to Ibiza on the 10th. It's the 9th, Friday the 9th of June. I'm going to do it at 12 o'clock UK time. So there'll be a link that we'll send out about it. So just save that date. I'm going to call it Master Your Message, right? So can't wait to see you then. Let me know any questions you have about this, any comments. Always happy to hear from you. Have a great day wherever you are. Bye.